Simon, it was an exciting year in 2014 in thoroughbred racing with the possibility of a Triple Crown as California came to the Belmont, California Chrome in the Belmont, and then at the end of the year, the top 6 finishers in the Breeders' Cup Classic were 3-year-olds?
Yeah, and the top 2 finishes in the clock were 3-year-olds.
Okay, so a lot of that 3-year-old division, they're coming back as 4-year-olds. So we started thinking, how deep is the older male division this year? In fact, our producer, John Moosis, said, is it as deep as it's been since, say, 1990? Do you remember some of the horses you had back then? Criminal Type, Easy Goer, Sunday Silence, Housebuster. Very good. Quiet American, if you want to bring that out. So anyway, as we take a look at
Housebuster was a 3-year-old that year, though.
Why did you bring that up then? Older males of 2015, is it as deep as it was 25 years ago?
It's pretty deep. Look at this list.
So we are going to try and make our top 10. 10, I need you to think outside of the box.
Okay, I'm going to think outside the box. A lot of these names familiar last year, but a horse, and Todd Pletcher trains a lot of these horses, Constitution, Danza, to name a couple. But he's got a horse called Liam's Map, who I'm going to put in spot number 10.
Whoa, did not see that
He's
coming.
lightly raced. He's by Unbridled Song. He's won 3 out of his 4 starts, including the Harlan's Holiday, a stakes race down at Gulfstream Park. But this was him breaking his maiden back on November the 16th. He's a very impressive horse, and I think a horse that could be heard from in 2015 that's under the radar.
Round is third, farther back Lawmaker putting in a late bid, but with a furlong to go, Liam's Map is all by himself. 7 or 8 lengths cleared down to the line. This race was never in doubt. Liam's Map, big time effort, final margin 9 in the end. Street Gent Round and the Brothers Wrap.
He beat a horse called Valid, who's an older stakes performer in the Harlan's Holiday. When it's all said and done at the end of the year, Liam's Map might be up here somewhere.
Okay, wasn't it your people who sang, you say you want a constitution? Yep. Well, you know, he should be number 9.
Constitution.
Look, I know he got beat in the Clark. I get that. But Constitution didn't have a complete year, but I've always felt that he has a lot of ability. Some people would say, well, then you got to put Opportunity ahead of him. But look, I think 10 through 6, you got to think on the come. Horses on the rise. That's what you're doing with Liam's Map. I think Constitution can have a better year in 2015.
Pletcher, Liam's Map. Pletcher, Constitution. Pletcher, Commissioner.
Whoa!
How about that?
Whoa!
Second in the Peter Pan. Second in the Belmont.
Okay.
He's been idle since then. Got a great pedigree by AP&D out of a touched gold mare. He's a horse that could probably develop with time, mature into a nice older horse. I think that's the plan that they've had with Commissioner after he went to the sidelines in the Belmont. They're looking to a 2015 campaign.
Okay, so then I need your help on this next one.
Okay.
Because people are going to be going, why isn't Opportunity there? Why isn't Tonalist there? We just put horses up there that were beat by horses that are on the list. Would you rather have Opportunity at 7 or Tonalist at 7?
Oh, Tonalist.
Okay, then put Tonalist at 7.
Yeah, Tonalist is at 7, of course. I mean, disappointed in the Classic, but I think he had a rough trip that day. So he really exhibits the physical credentials for a horse who's going to develop from 3 to 4.
Okay, is Opportunity going to make the list? Because Opportunity is not going to be in the top 5.
No.
So Opportunity is not making the list on this list. I mean, I'm not doing this guy again. That's not happening. I'm not doing Social Inclusion. I'm not doing Right on Curlin. I'm not doing Vickers in Trouble.
I'm not doing Tapestry.
This guy's a top 5. That guy's a top 5. Honor Code's
These
maybe
guys
a
are top 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All right, so 6 has actually got to be a big name. You know what?
Guy.
Yeah, I'd like Lee in the top 5, but we're really projecting for this horse, so I think Lee deserves to be at 6.
Lee hasn't raced since the Dawn almost a year ago, and beat Will Take Charge that day. Very impressive performance for trainer Bill Mott. If he comes back to this effort, he'll be a major force in the older handicap division.
But Will Take Charge is beginning to move now with a furlong to run. Lee still running strong for the wire. Will Take Charge is 2 lengths back, and he's determined to try to catch Lee, but Lee is too far out in front, and Lee has won the Dawn under Joel Rosario. It was Will Take Charge second, Viramundo was third, and then came Bourbon Courage.
No, I think we both believe that by the end of the year, if he stays healthy, he could be way in the top 5, maybe even in the top 2.
I thought he was going to be a major player in 2014,
Yeah.
but the injury put him to the side.
Okay, so now we do have to get some big names here. How about just the fact that Palace Malice is back racing, and just because of his up and down nature, if I'm going to put him in the top 5, I'm putting him at 5 best. I'm not elevating him beyond that.
He's got to remember he was retired.
Yeah.
This is a horse that we're putting on the list that was retired and came out of retirement at the last minute. So I'm with you. He needs to be on the list and probably at 5.
Okay, so now I think we have to start to consider 3-year-olds around here, but we're looking at Palace Malice.
We've got 3. We have to consider Byron, California Chrome, and Shared Belief, right? They have to be in the top 4.
Right, but I think we can only, as far as older horses, put Wise Dan up there. But would you say Shared Belief has to be below Byron and California Chrome on this list?
I don't think he has to be.
He doesn't have to be?
No.
Really?
What about Wise Dan?
Wise Dan's going to go behind those 3-year-olds?
Let me ask you this.
A shot.
No, what we're doing here, though, Todd, we've got to differentiate. This is dirt. This is dirt weighted. We would have main sequence on here, so we've got to project. If we're going to put Wise Dan in there, we're going to project he's going to have a dirt campaign, right?
Oh, so why is Wise Dan on there?
Because he might have a dirt start or two. Because last year, before he went to the sidelines, they were talking about...
He's a 2-time Horse of the Year. One of these horses may not even be named Horse of the Year.
Okay. So what do you want to do?
And then you got Wicked Strong, which some people are saying he's going to have a big year. I don't see how you could put Wise Dan out of the top 2. So here's what I'm telling you. 3-year-old, and then it's going to come Wise Dan versus a 3-year-old. If you're telling me you voted California Chrome as the top 3-year-old, then this top 2 has to come down to California Chrome and Wise Dan. This has to come down to Shared Belief and Byron. So if you want to say Shared Belief could be ahead one of those horses, then it's got to go Byron and Shared Belief. Or do you want to leave Byron off?
No, I don't want to leave Byron.
Okay, I say put Byron 4.
You don't say put him above Shared Belief?
I say put him above Shared Belief, but you keep telling me, how could you put him above Shared Belief, both those 3-year-olds? I say you can, because of this.
The Shared Belief right here then.
Okay, so if you voted for California Chrome as Horse of the Year,
well, he's going to go
and it goes that way, number 1, and then you have the horse who won Horse of the Year the previous 2 seasons, he should go on the 2nd spot.
Number 2.
There you go.
Simple.
That's a pretty good list. Who is out here on the fringes that very easily could have ended up in here?
Well, there's a name not on that list that I think could be a major player. It's called Toast of New York.
Oh, okay.
I know he's based in England, but he's going to have maybe a U.S. campaign. They're going to say they're not going to run him on the dirt, so they can't run him in Europe. He's going to Dubai for the World Cup, and hopefully they'll bring him back for a major U.S. campaign. So Toast of New York, Wicked Strong maybe.
Yeah.
I just don't think some of these other horses are good enough. Monaco, Dan's a 2nd in the Kentucky Derby.
We're really doing a Candy Boy?
No.
This is a good list.
Yeah.
This is a very good list.
No, it's a real good list.
I would vote for a case for Wicked Strong, but that's about as far as I go on the other side over there. I mean, Opportunity did close out the year pretty great.
I think out of these 10, maybe you disagree with the order we've got them in, but those are the major players, I think.